This Fleet Equipment Unscripted interview is presented by Hendrickson, a leading manufacturer of heavy-duty suspension systems and components to the global commercial transportation industry. Visit hendrickson-intl.com to learn more.
Hey everyone, Jason Morgan, Content Director for Fleet Equipment. Welcome to Fleet Equipment Unscripted. Got something different for you today, so we are going to go out beyond the studio walls up to Sandusky, Ohio to visit the NTEA Upfitters Summit that happened here recently. Our friends at Lion Electric invited us up to take a look at the Lion 6. It's a Class 6 battery electric truck, and talk about what's happening in the vocational space, right? We've heard that these kind of applications could be a fit for electric trucks, and we've seen electric trucks roll out in regional haul type of applications, but we have yet to see a really big push into the vocational space. Lion has a big presence there at the Upfitters Summit. So we're going to go talk with Dominic Beckman, Vice President of Marketing and Communications, and Eric West, Director of Channel Sales, to see what we can learn about the vocational segment and battery electric truck usage, and take a walk around the Lion 6 and check out all the cool specs. So let's check it out. Hey, well, thanks for having me out. It is great to catch up here. It's been a while since you and I have connected, and you're in a new role here. You're with Lion Electric here. And I know your background has been in, let's say, traditional truck nameplates, established players in the diesel realm. You're over here with Lion Electric, a big player in the EV space. What brought you over, and what are you seeing in Lion that's giving you the confidence that they can deliver for customers?
Yeah, sure. So I've known about Lion for years, but really it was at this past NTEA Work Truck Week that I took note. And it was because they had a Knapheide body vehicle in their booth, as well as, as you're walking around the show, I noticed there's also a Morgan body on there too, so really getting serious on the trucking side. And then as I started to look into more detail on Lion, you get into their bus history that goes back 14 years with development that they put 3 years into. And when you think about buses, really that whole purpose behind it and going electric and making them clean for children, and the routes are perfect for electric vehicles to start with. And then really there's the backing of the national governments, both in the US and Canada, that support this direction as well, which is helping. And then I looked at Lion from an innovation standpoint. And not only are they positioning themselves as an electric vehicle player, but also taking that opportunity to innovate and make the vehicles better. So on the bus side, that means a 6-inch wider aisle that leads to safer exit for children, for example, and different materials, composites that are rust-free. That's what really drew me to Lion.
So EVs really coming into their own, really this year, the past 2 years, big in the commercial space. What have been the big mile markers for Lion here in the past year?
So I would say that we have been upscaling in every direction rapidly, right? So our team members, we've grown by more than 400. And in addition to our manufacturing facility in St. Jerome, Quebec, that can produce 2,500 vehicles, we've now added a 900,000 square foot facility in Joliet, Illinois, that will add another 20,000 vehicles to it. And then on top of that, vertically integrating, we have a battery manufacturing plant. It's also manufacturing modules that's coming online and being equipped today as well. So excited to see that come here in the future. Customer experience centers. We've increased those by 50% across the North American market. So that's exciting as well, being able to support more markets and customers.
So the EV space is increasingly competitive. What's Lion doing to stand out in a market where more names are coming in, more solutions are coming in to try to snap up customer attention?
So I think you got to look to Lion's roots in that a Lion electric vehicle is electric from the ground up. It was born electric. Lion has approached the complete vehicle from an innovation standpoint. And then there's the ecosystem. Yep. And so it's more than just about the vehicle. Yep. And Lion has really gone all in on supporting customers from day one of interest, through grants, through understanding their fleet's application and what it makes sense to spec for a vehicle, getting into the financing piece of it, and then having the solution that maximizes their operational performance with Lion Beat, which is the advanced telematics solution. And it just goes on from there into the assist solutions as well.
All right, great. Well, I cannot wait to dig into some of the specs, so let's get to the equipment.
Yeah, absolutely. And for that, I would like to introduce you to Eric West, who's our Director of Channel Sales and is working with the body upfit partners to make it all happen.
Awesome. Eric, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So give me some of the high-level specs here. What kind of size batteries, what range, what applications are we looking at here?
So this is our Lion 6, or our Class 6 truck, 252 kilowatt hours, or approximately 200 miles, depends on the equipment.
Yeah.
We currently have box trucks, a reefer that we're coming out with soon. We showed it at NTEA recently. Flatbed, stake body. So we have a bunch of different applications right now.
Very cool.
You want to get into the hood?
No, I do.
Check
This is my favorite part. I always love opening the electric vehicle hood.
Excellent.
It's a different experience.
Yeah, so
very different.
Once you first open it, it looks completely different, doesn't it?
Yep.
It obviously isn't a traditional ICE application. Starting over here, we have a sound generator. We do the sound generator from 0 to 20 miles an hour.
Oh, sure.
The benefits of that, obviously, is the individuals that are around, they can hear the vehicle because it's very quiet.
Right.
Our cab is silent completely inside, so it's very quiet. We have a cab tilt, electric tilt or manual, switch a lever in one of the compartments in the back and just push this button and the whole cab can come forward.
Sure.
And then it gives you access to some of the electrical components underneath there.
Okay.
But what's really cool about this type of design is none of the batteries are underneath it. So you don't get any of the heat. Plus it's a flat floor.
Oh, right.
So you can pass through right away, so there's no doghouse.
Right, in the cab.
Exactly.
Right.
Coolant tank for the heater,
Yep.
windshield washer fluid, power steering, and then it's got a air suspension for the cab. There's 2 in the front and 2 in the back, so it really improves the ride and handling characteristics.
Right.
It's a cab over design.
Yep.
And you can see the blue bumper right here. We have a couple safety features.
Yep.
This is the ADAS
radars.
system. Yeah, so collision avoidance.
Right.
So it helps with collision avoidance.
Gotcha.
And then there's these
I love
louvers
these.
that are off to the side. Yeah, so these are designed to help with range because they're gonna help direct the airflow around the outside.
Oh, I see.
Our vehicles, our cab specifically and our chassis were purpose built for EVs, 100%. The other nice thing about this is it directs the air through and then it keeps it down so it doesn't contaminate the side of the vehicle as well. So it doesn't impede the driver at all.
Directs the airflow, keeps it aerodynamic there. Very cool.
Exactly.
So is there a significant to the 3 lights up there? You got it's unique.
Yeah, again, thinking purpose built. So what we've done is we've taken these 3 lights up here, and the first light that's up there is actually a 30% stated charge.
Okay.
Then 60% stated charge, and then 100% stated charge.
Oh, awesome.
So as the user's walking up to the vehicle, they can see where the vehicle's at, and if there's a challenge or a problem, they have a visual inspection right away.
Right, no, that's very cool. Love that. Well, let's talk more about charging. Show me the charging.
Absolutely.
Here.
So we have our charge door right here.
Okay.
And it just pops open. CCS1 combo. The charging cable just plugs right in.
Right.
This little light comes on, and then they can see that the handshake has been made.
Okay, right.
The overall frame system and all of the components are traditional components. So you think about a traditional ICE vehicle, a service maintenance guy could look at this and say, that's a standard frame rail.
Right.
Our axle is a Dana axle. That's a traditional axle. It's a Hendrickson's air suspension. Again, those are all standard components. It's another I-beam axle in the front with air suspension. All of the components in the cab are traditional components that you would get from any other type of vehicle. So a service maintenance manager can look at it and say, I got that part of my shelf. I got that part of my shelf. So it's not strange or it's not different.
Yeah, the commonalities, the approach.
Commonalities there, exactly.
There. Yeah, I mean, still a drive shaft here. The motor's here. This isn't an E-axle. It's an electric motor here, drive axle. Like you said, there's commonalities.
Exactly. Let's talk about that for a second. So this is a Dana motor right here, and there's just a handful of parts. So if you compare and contrast against a traditional ICE, 3,000 parts, a handful of parts here. It's just a T-style shaft, so it's a direct drive. It goes from the drive shaft right into the Dana axle.
Right,
very simple, very simple.
I mean, I feel like these are the stars of the shows on the TV,
let's talk
the battery
about the
pack.
battery.
Tell me about the battery pack.
So we have 6 different battery packs. There's 2 on this side, there's 2 on the other side, and then there's 2 in the back.
Oh yeah, okay.
So what's neat about this is we can modularly we can change these up. We can have 6, we can have 5, we could have 4.
Oh, I see.
And we look at the use case. How is it going to be used? Because there's a trade-off in EV. It's weight versus payload. So if you want range, then I'm going to have a little more weight because I have the batteries. But if you need payload, maybe we can compromise on range. So it's really important to understand the use case and how they're using the vehicle. And once we understand that, we can help them decide what's best for their application.
Okay, another work truck staple oftentimes is PTO. How does that work here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we're in the process of developing an ePTO.
Okay.
So think electric.
Yeah.
And I would say a lot of people, when they think about PTO, they think about Muncie or Chelsea, and it's mounting it onto a transmission, right?
Transmission.
So in this particular case, we're going to be doing a distribution panel from the batteries.
Okay.
And then that distribution panel supplies the power to the apparatus.
Okay.
So in some cases, they don't need the amount of power that we have from an ePTO.
Yeah.
So we can power off of our 12-volt system. All of our electrical components in the cab are all traditional 12-volt.
Oh, okay.
So again, thinking service,
Commonalities
it's
there.
all common, exactly.
Okay.
And a lift gate is an example. If that's all they have, they could tap into our 12-volt system
Already.
I
see.
Exactly.
Okay.
But when it comes to the higher demands that would be required for, say, a dump truck or something of that
Well, you
size.
mentioned the reefer too.
The reefer is an example. Those two types of applications, and there's many other, but those two types of applications really do require an ePTO, or the power being distributed from the batteries to wherever it needs to go. Having said that, we're in the process of developing that. That should be coming soon.
Very cool. Okay, so one last question for you. I mean, we're here at the NTEA Upfitters Summit. We're talking vocational applications. If I'm a fleet and I'm working with you on the truck side, I'm working with my truck equipment manufacturers, how do I bring these two worlds together? What do I need to talk about with my TEM to make sure that they're up to speed on being able to build bodies for electric vehicles?
Yeah, the best situation is just to get a hold of Lion Electric initially. We can help through the use case with the end user. We can help them understand what they need. We talked about batteries a moment ago. So do they really need range? Do they need payload? So we can help them through that. In terms of the integration, again, once we've decided that a fleet needs a truck or they want one of our trucks, then we can figure out what that integration is. When it comes to the integration mechanically, there's really not a lot of difference. Pretty similar to what an ICE is right now when it comes to the traditional work trucks.
Yeah, well, and you've named a lot of industry players that you're working with already. Thermo King. I feel like Morgan comes to mind too as a partner.
Thermo King, Morgan, Knapheide, CM, Truck Beds are just a few of them we're working with. Transit, Heil, we're working with on the refuse side. So we have a bunch of different partners that we're already working on. We have, in some cases, trucks already on the ground. Amazon is a good example of an organization that we already have trucks on the ground. We have trucks on the ground in California. So we have over 700 vehicles on the ground with 10 million miles. Wow. So we're not just playing, we're doing this right now.
Yeah, a lot of solutions there. Well, I appreciate you taking the time. It was
My
great
pleasure.
to talk with you. Great to see the Line 6.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.